I'm your host Jo Linsdell, and this is Writers and Authors Television. Coming up in today's show, I'll be joined by author Virginia Grenier, who'll be telling us about her award-winning children's book and sharing a few tips about how to market children's books. We'll also be taking a closer look at virtual book tours, what they are, why you should be doing them, and sharing a few tips for success. Hi Virginia, thanks for joining me on the show. Please tell us a bit about your award-winning children's book and share with us a few tips for marketing success.
Hi Jo, thanks for having me here today. It's great. My name is V.S. Grenier. That's my pen name. My first name is actually Virginia. I am a picture book author, and I am actually starting to write in the young adult market. I do have a picture book out. It's called Babysitting Sugar Paw. It's about a little bear who doesn't want a babysitter, and it just recently won the Mom's Choice Silver Award, which I'm really excited about. I love writing this genre, and I find that if you don't have kids of your own, you can still write in this genre. You can just go to the park. If you have a friend who's a teacher, if you're not a teacher, but you know someone who's a teacher, or even call up a school, you can actually sometimes sit in classrooms, and teachers are very open to letting you shadow them throughout the day, so you can study what age group that you're writing for. I've done this actually quite a few times when I've written for the young adult market before my son was a teenager. I actually sat in on a couple of classrooms to get a feel of how teenagers talk now versus how they did when I was in school over 10 years ago. So that's a really great thing to do. If you're writing in the picture book market, obviously you can go to a preschool, or if you have friends who have little kids, you can go watch them, or you can think about your own childhood memories and always draw from that. But if you're definitely interested in writing the picture book market, I really suggest doing a mock-up of your picture book. This is mine for Babysitting Sugar Paw, back when I was first laying it out and getting a feel for the layout. That's always a very important step in picture book writing, is to kind of get a feel for how much words you need versus how much you're going to let the illustrations tell your story. So that's something to kind of think about if you're writing for picture books. For the teenage market, preteen market, chapter book market, Maggie Lyons did this, and I really valued this information when she shared it with me when we were talking about her recent book, is to actually have that particular age group that you're targeting read your book and share with you information. For example, her book has a teenage boy around 12, 13 years old as the main character, so she found a tween boy to read her book and to give feedback on if that's how he would react, or how he would deal with certain situations, or how his friends may deal with situations. And she found that very valuable at the early stages during her revision process of her manuscript. She found it gave more authenticity to her character. She also thought back when she was, of course, a teenager, and of course when she has a son, when her son was a teenager, and some of the things he dealt with. So by blending all that together, it really did give her book a very authentic sound for the age group she was targeting. So those are some things you can kind of think about when you're writing for this particular market for children and young adults. The other really hard part when it comes to children and the young adult market is there's a lot of people out there, a lot of books. And so how do you get your name out there amongst everybody else? Of course, building your author platform, branding yourself is always important. So getting reviews, having your age group read the book and sharing that on a blog that you have for your writing, or your website. Doing a virtual tour is always a great way, because you get book reviewers, you get to do guest posts, interviews. Sometimes you get to do radio spots, be it on Blog Talk Radio or local radio. Contact your local libraries and say, I love to do a reading time with my book, and share this with the kids. Librarians love that. They're always looking for volunteer readers, and it's a great way for you to share your particular story. Contact your local bookstores. I mean, everything's Barnes and Nobles and Borders and the big guys, but there's a lot of indie bookstores out there, so contact them, see if they're willing to have you come in and maybe do story time at their store, or a book signing, which is always, of course, better. But kind of work with them, and contact your local schools, and don't just go in there and say, hey, I want to just come and talk about my book. Put together some type of program, like, I want to teach kids how to write better reports when they do history reports, if you have a book that's a nonfiction or historical fiction book. Or if you're a fiction writer like mine, I actually did this. I went and I only talked to the first graders and could talk to the whole school, but I shared with them how to come up with story ideas. So those are some ideas to get your name out there, to share, to get out there marketing your book, ways to basically get ideas for your own personal writing in this market. And if you have any other questions, you could always look me up at vsgrenier.com. I'm always happy to help new authors with questions they have, or you can check me out at theworldofinknetwork.com. We do a lot of information there as well, and radio shows on a lot of different topics for new writers and even established writers. So Jo, I just want to say thank you again for having me. It's been great. I wish everybody luck, and I'm looking forward to future shows that Jo puts together here.
Excellent tips. Thanks, Virginia. And now on to virtual book tours.
As some of you probably know, I'm fresh off doing a 3-month-long virtual book tour for my children's book Out and About at the Zoo. Now the tour's been a huge success, and the book's got to #1 in the rankings on Amazon in various different categories. Now let's start today by having a close look at what virtual book tours are and why you should consider using them.
A virtual book tour is a promotional tour that takes place online. Basically, you set a period of time in which you're hosted on different sites promoting your book. Here on the list, you'll see a few of the different types of spots that you can do. There are numerous reasons for considering doing a virtual book tour. #1, you save time and money. As it's an online event, you don't have to worry about travel expenses and all the other costs like you do when you're doing an in-person event, as you can do the whole thing from the comfort of your own home. As the content is shared online, it's not just a one-time event either, as the content is archived and you can easily share it weeks and even months after the actual event. Virtual book tours also encourage interaction with your fans, as everyone has the chance to comment on your posts and ask you their own questions. You sell more books. An online tour makes it easier for your content to go viral and reach a larger audience. The more people that know about your book ups your chances for more sales. Customers can also choose which format they want and where they want to buy it. A virtual book tour is about creating awareness for your book and you as an author. It allows you to build a personal brand which will help you with future sales of the book you're touring and also any new releases that you might have coming out. You'll also build business partnerships with tour hosts and increase your market share, not to mention gathering reviews, which you can use in numerous ways during and after your tour to create a buzz and generate sales.
And now for some quick tips for tour success. Now, this list is pretty self-explanatory, but all of the points are equally important if you want to make your book have the best results possible. Big news happening over at Amazon this month. They recently announced that on their UK site, they actually sell more Kindle versions of the books than they do the print versions. Also happening on Amazon, Kindle Direct Publishing is now available in India, giving a whole new market for your electronic books. If you have some tips about writing for children or marketing children's books, or in fact about doing a virtual book tour, then I would love to hear back from you. Please leave a comment below or upload a video response. If you've liked this episode, please click the like button below and share it with your friends. Please click the subscribe button above to stay up to date with all the new videos on Writers and Authors Television. You can also join the Writers and Authors community through our blog or through the Facebook or Twitter accounts.
Coming up in next month's show, I'll be joined by author Virginia Jennings to discuss writing sci-fi. We'll also be sharing some tips on how you can optimize your Facebook fan page and how to increase page interaction. Thanks for watching and see you next month.